All right, what's going on, guys? So I want to give you guys a quick encouraging word with everything that's going on right now, the things that I've talked about. It's critical more than ever, and it's very evident, very clear that God is raising up people right now to step up and to take position, take arms, and to be able to execute and do the things that God has called you to do. And for other people, if you're not in that position right now, maybe you're in a different season of life, you're confused, you don't understand what's going on, you have to take the sidelines. It's not a bad thing. But just like in the Super Bowl with the football games, there are certain roles people have. They step up, they quarterback, they defend, they do whatever it is, attack. And other people, they sit on the sidelines and they watch. So we're in a season right now with everything going on in life. And I'm not talking about just political, social issues, this freedom, the mandates and all that stuff, but every realm of society right now, from health, the pharmaceutical, the Hollywood, entertainment, business, okay, in religion as well, in Christian denominations, different facets of all the things that's going on within the church in different places across the world even. This is not just the U.S. either. We're in a time right now where God has shaken. He's shaking every little area, but he's calling people to step up. And these people, a lot of them, they look crazy, they look stupid, they don't make sense. But again, we're in a time with a lot of the information going on in the world where you have to be discerning. And this is also a very special warning for those that are taking arms on the opposite side, meaning that you have no idea what you're talking about in the sense that you took one or two data points, you took a couple of people's opinions, you made a conclusion, you ran with it, and you think you had something, but you're only going to be humbled later on. And so that's already going on with things like the debunked Mueller investigations, the spy gates, and all these different things that are coming out with the Durham, indictments and many other things. Right? That's just one area. I'm talking about many other areas within the sex trafficking industry, the crimes against humanity in the church, and all these different things that have been cover-ups all the way up until now. And so whether it's a lot of things that have happened in the past, whether it's 9/11, whether it's other different situations. And that's just one example, but many issues, right? Big picture, wide-reaching events, all the way down to small events, very tiny things in your family, in your church, in your community, and all these different things that's being exposed. And so I have a particular warning for those that decide to step up and think that they're doing something for a good cause, but they aren't. And I was reminded of the Give, Send, Go website. If you haven't heard, they were hacked, and they had this message that was up there, which basically said, just like the January 6th, you are encouraging the Freedom Convoy and this insurrection and all this different stuff, and that you are propagating misinformation and a bunch of stuff. But again, these people, they're doing illegal activities to support what is, in their view, a bad cause. And I've talked about the Freedom Convoy specifically before with regards to you'll reap what you sow, each to their own. Yeah, they're bad apples, but for the most part, if you are standing for peace, righteousness, freedom, liberty, then you are doing things for which you are sowing good seed. And so you have to be very careful where you get your information, what you believe based on 2 or 3 data points of what you perceive is the right answer to the world. You got to be very careful with these things because it says, but he who does wrong will be repaid for what he has done. And there is no partiality. In Hosea, that was Colossians, but in Hosea, it also says, for they have sown the wind, they shall reap the whirlwind. So if you sow into the wind, which is nothing, then you are going to have this come back around to you as a whirlwind. So just like in the worldly statements of what goes around comes around, similarly in the Bible, it talks about you will reap what you sow. So this is a time for which if you don't know, take a step back, just sit on the sidelines. You don't want to be that guy who in the middle of a Super Bowl matchup, in the middle of a football game, the middle of a soccer game, in the middle of whatever big event is going on, you run across the field. You were on the sidelines, maybe you were just a coach, maybe you were just an audience member. You ran, and in the critical moment, you disrupted it. And you disrupted it, and you hindered the movement, the godly movement, the right movement, and the key players that are wrestling it out. And I'm not even talking about the other side, because there's 2 teams, right? There's a winning and a losing team. Even on the wrong team, they're playing a role too, because they're being prosecuted. There's injustice. They have a reason for which they have to step up and say things, and God will expose it, give people an avenue to discern for themselves. But if you are not part of that and you are disrupting it and you're running on stage, you're running on the field, then this word is for you. But he who does wrong will be repaid for what he has done. There's no partiality. And if you sow to the wind, you shall reap the whirlwind. There's many other verses about reaping what you sow and having a calamity come upon you if you do the wrong thing. So it's a warning, it's an encouragement, but it's also just prophetically speaking what's going on, and and attention should be given. Prayer should be given to the right things. So be careful in this season as information and more things come out, because God is using this time, again, to expose, to shake, to humble people, to get them closer to him through all of this. And so people are waking up. It's no more that you sit on the sidelines, or rather you throw the information on the sidelines. You think you can get away with not knowing and having a position on something. Now is a time for action. Now is a time for people to step up. And that's what God is doing in each respective callings, whether it's big, famous positions, very noticeable positions, all the way down to you being a quiet voice in your household, in your community, between you and God. And so God bless you guys. Love you guys. Talk to you guys very soon.